Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing off some mods coming soon to console in Baldur's Gate 3. So we got ourselves some pretty nice console mod drops last week, which is pretty telling of what's next to come. I've been pretty accurate with my guesses so far on what mods will be coming next, and I've done a bunch of research in preparation for this video, so I'm going to be showing off some mods that I think are very likely to come soon, and we got some good ones here. First things first, last week we got ourselves the 5th edition Fighter Subclasses Combined mod by Sumer Dagnoth. Now, they also have made a fighter or a barbarian and a monk version of this mod, which I also think is quite likely to come. I've done a video yesterday covering all of these classes, and I actually did a video in the past about 4 months ago talking about these because they come from Nexus Mods. He went through all the effort of recreating this through the toolkit to now have it on mod.io so that you could have it in Baldur's Gate 3 and eventually on console as we got ourselves the fighter mods. Now, the barbarian mod is incredibly interesting because it comes with a number of different classes here. So you can see we got ourselves the Ancestral Guardian, the Battle Rager, the Beast, the Giant, which unfortunately is now removed in preparation for patch 8, which will introduce the Giant Barbarian as an official subclass. And we also have the Juggernaut, the Storm Herald, and the Zealot. My favorite being the Storm Herald, as you focus on a bit of elemental damage. Now, this mod in particular has, as you can see, here's the different paths again. They're all quite complex with the ability to go all the way up to level 20. I'll be doing build guides on these in the future, but I've covered some of the fighter subclasses yesterday, the Psy Warrior Fighter. But yeah, this class is a lot of fun. You can check out my video. I'll link it in the description for a complete breakdown of the barbarian classes. In addition, the monk also has some really fun ones, and I'll also link the description for this video. I covered it as well, but we got ourselves the Way of the Ascended Dragon, which is like an elemental damage focused monk. You can do breath attacks as well, like a dragonborn. There's the Way of the Astral Self, which creates illusionary arms to punch a little bit further away from you, and a few other effects. We have the Way of the Kensei, which is a monk that uses weapons, and these weapons can be considered monk weapons, so you can attack with your fists or with a blade, or really whatever you would like. There's also the Way of the Long Death, which I know a lot of people absolutely love. I like it too. It has a huge area of effect fear that you can apply on enemies. And yeah, so it's just a blast. There's also the Way of the Mercy, which is like a monk that can like do palm attacks that'll heal your teammates and harm the enemies that apply poison to them. The Way of the Sun Soul is a radiant damage focused monk. But yeah, Sumer Dagnoth has done a fantastic job with these mods. So hopefully we'll see those soon on console. I have a really good feeling about them since we already got ourselves the fighter subclass combined. If you haven't downloaded this one, go download it. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, this one's just great. So I do think we'll see those two next. But in addition to this, the Shinobi Rogue. So there's a lot of different subclass mods when it comes to Baldur's Gate 3, and many more being created on the daily. I have a really good feeling about the Shinobi class here. So this is a rogue subclass, and you have different fighting styles like the throwing, which when you throw something, you add your dexterity modifier to the damage and attack rolls. I don't see any red flags with this mod made by Pigosar here, and it's kind of like a shadow sort or a shadow monk kind of deal, but it's a rogue. You'll see the Shadow Strike here. You can throw daggers around, and some of them will have poison on them. This is a really fun class, and if you're a fan of like anything ninja related, the Shinobi is definitely one that you would want to try. Next, we got ourselves the Crypt Stalker Ranger. So the Rangers had a few different class mods get added into Baldur's Gate 3. We've had the Raptor Tamer previously, but the Crypt Lord Ranger or Crypt Stalker is interesting. With the Crypt Stalker, you get to summon in a Death Shepherd here, which is pretty interesting. So there's different summons that come with this. It's focused more so on death, and you get a few different spells there. Similar to the Ranger, you obviously get the regular Ranger spells, but it's focused more so on just like necrotic damage. You can also summon in a dragon there, but I really like the Death Shepherd summon that you get with the Crypt Stalker Ranger. So this is a great one if you like the Beastmaster. You get undead companions, so from tanking Death Shepherds, which is my personal preference, to Spectral Wraiths. So a lot of different choices there. Necrotic Archery, so you can imbue your attacks with necrotic energy. Dark Utility, so you can speak with the dead, siphon life, and control the battlefield with necrotic roots and deathly powers. And you can also get a Cursed Mummy, Dark Justiciar, Flying Ghoul, Haunting Wrath, and more. There's also a Skeletal Dragon that you can summon in. So I don't see any red flags with this one either. Mod made by Hungry Hippo 3460. And yeah, this one's just a blast to play. I love Rangers, and I like any class that gets summoned, so this is a fun one. In addition, the Rat King subclass. This is another mod that I think is quite likely to come. This is a Warlock subclass, and you get yourself like a packed rat. You also get some different attacks like the Venomous Bite here, dealing poison damage. This is probably the best poison damage focused build that or mod class that I've found in Baldur's Gate 3. It's really cool. You got like the Black Death here, which does 8d8 poison damage. Eldritch Infection, which can in fact cast the Infected Eldritch Blast, which is a poison damage focus. Obviously, force damage, one of the best damage types in the game, where poison's not that great, but you can ignore resistances to the poison damage with this. So actually, you get resistance and immunity to poison damage, but you can also add poison onto attacks with your packed weapon. It's all about the poison damage. It's an interesting one as well. I think that this one is quite cool, as poison damage is underutilized in Baldur's Gate 3. You can see they're gaining resistance and immunity to poison. Also, when you deal poison damage, you can apply a poison to the target, which is will give disadvantage on attack rolls. So it can be pretty good for applying defensive buffs to protect your team as well. The Rat King subclass is a cool mod as well. Also, the Nightingale. This mod was actually uploaded September 6th. So this is one that I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen yet, as it was one of the first mods in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager. And there's no real red flags with this one. It gets the usual. You got dark vision. This one is kind of similar to the Shinobi. It's a rogue subclass focused on dealing a little extra damage. You can go into your spectral form to get extra attacks. It's not broken or anything either, so I think that this one will likely come at some point. But yeah, Nightingale, rogue, very interesting subclass. And we also got ourselves the Death Knight. Now, this mod, there's a few different ones, so I don't think that we'll get the World of Warcraft themed one, which has like the Blood, Frost, and Unholy Death Knight subclasses. But there is another Death Knight subclass in the game, and this one is based on actual Dungeons and Dragons, which is what I think makes it likely to end up coming. I've previously done a build on this, and it gets some cool effects here. This one is distinct from the World of Warcraft based one. It focuses on wisdom for its attack rolls, and it's based on a homebrewed class of the Death Knight, which is quite interesting. So it's made for classic D&D. You might have seen this image before. This is the image by BD Vard here in relation to this. So with this, you get a bunch of different cantrips. It's focused obviously on necrotic damage, and it's almost like a paladin focused on necrotic and death, which is interesting. So I think this one's pretty fun. Resistance to necrotic damage. You get back up after being downed. You get choices of Gifts of Death or Selves, the Face of Death, Grip of Death or Will of Death, and a bunch of different spells that come with it. And then it does have subclasses based on somewhat like the World of Warcraft ones, but not fully the same. It doesn't rip off some of the icons, like some of the mods that I got here. You can see these are icons from World of Warcraft itself. And this one, I do not think will make its way to the in-game mod manager for console, just because it's using other assets. However, this mod has been removed a couple times now from the mod manager, whereas this mod that I'm talking about here has not. So I do think this one will make its way potentially, but some of the World of Warcraft ones won't. It's really hard to say, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that the new D&D based one that was created will likely come. But another mod into customization here is Rock's Vivid Aquarels. This is new eye colors for character creation with some really nice options, some deep blues, pinks, greens, yellows. Made by Rock's Airy, which you may know them for some of their other mods, as some of them got released on console last week, like Rock's Shimmering Eyes, giving 40 new glowing eyes. In addition to that, they also have the Rocks as Everyone Can Glow mod, which makes it so that humans and elves can have glowing eyes as well, or I guess really any race. It doesn't just have to be tieflings, which is nice. And then Rox's Head has also made its way to console last week as well. So I am very hopeful that we'll see another customization mod from them, as I try this out, no real red flags, and also some glowing eye colors as well. For the most part, from what I've seen, eye color mods don't really cause any issues. So I think that's a good sign for this coming. Now, I just want to provide an update for the Werewolf Origin, because I get asked about this pretty much every video that I make on console. This mod made by Lord President. It's interesting because they have their Vampire Origin mod out. Lord President does a lot of work. They made a ton of mods, and some more of them are being brought to console, like the Vampire Origin, which you might know. The Dark Urge Astarion, which made its way to console last week, allows you to play as a Dark Urge variant of Astarion, just gets both of his stories combined. He also has a new origin for it. There's also the Werewolf Shadowheart, which just got added recently as well. But the issue with the Werewolf Origin, they actually gave an update on it, is whenever you transform into your werewolf form, if you go to the magic mirror, it actually causes crashes. Now, this could potentially be related to the other race mod issues that have been popping up that's prevented more race mods from coming to console. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is one that it's hard to say. If they correct the issue that causes the magic mirror to crash, then potentially this can come. But I was asked about it a bunch. I just want to provide that update that it's got some issues that's outside of Lord President's control. But another mod that I think will potentially come is the One Ring. So you may know this from Lord of the Rings. Osprey has had a number of their mods make their way, especially ones that are, you know, based on Marvel. We got the Stormbreaker Mjolnir mod made by them on console. They also made the Raptor Tamer subclass. Hopefully we'll see the Aasimar race mod. I'm thinking we'll see this come to console. It's actually been pre-approved to come to console once their console race mod issue is fixed. So once that's fixed, that should be fine. But they also have some like Greater Undead mods. I have a feeling that we might even see the Fellowship of the Ring items mod, which gives a bunch of items from Lord of the Rings into the game. So you can see here, you got like the Glamdring, we got ourselves Gimli's battle axe, we got the barrow blades, we got the Bowl of Galadrim, and many other items famous from being in, you know, Lord of the Rings. Get Sting, Gandalf's fireworks. So I have a feeling we may see this one. Osprey has made a lot of mods. We've seen the Staff of Orcus make its way to console. So I think that we'll see more of their mods coming soon because they're all really well done. And yeah, they just got a lot of mods in a variety of different areas. So I'm thinking that we may see some more mods from them make their way over just because we've seen some of theirs. Even I was curious if Mjolnir and Stormbreaker would make their way over due to it being kind of like Marvel IP, but I think it's distinct enough to be fine. Now, another mod, Akelka has made a lot of different ones. This one here, the extra tabs, horns and hairs, which gives you the option of making your Dragonborn look a little different. So you can remove the horns and gives them like a bald look there. I have a good feeling we'll see more of Akelka's mods because we already previously had the Crazy Colors pack. We got the Crystal Crown last week, which gives some different looking crystal appearances to the dragons. We also got their mod, the Dirge's Mangled Head, which makes it so that the Dirge has some cuts and stuff on his face. I think we'll see some of their other mods, like even the Sea Dragon here, which adds like this appearance. Hard to say, but I do think we'll see some more, and they put a lot of love into the Dragonborn, which is not so much, I mean, it's a popular race choice, but they don't have as much stuff as some of the other races. Maybe we'll even see this here, the Bald Dragonborn, but you can see they've done a bunch of Dragonborn mods, and I think we'll see some more come soon. Now for a cheat mod, Skills Unlocked. I have a feeling that we'll see this here soon as well. Basically what it does is it makes it so any class can choose any skills. So you're no longer bound to taking X, Y, and Z when you pick like a ranger. This is nice for a variety of reasons because it gives you more customization. It is a cheat mod, so I mean, it's for a specific group of people that want to use the cheats in their game. Doesn't provide a huge benefit, but being able to choose skill proficiencies that might match your role playing a little bit more might just be nice for some people. So those are some mods that I do think are quite likely to come to console in Baldur's Gate 3. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm very hopeful about some of these mods as I've been asked to do a video on this topic, and I just want to provide that. So we'll hopefully see the Barbarian and Monk Barbarian and Monk subclasses combined here soon. But let me know what mod you're most excited to see come to console. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next video.